you once, and I'll tell you twice the way I feel.
Hi there peeps, welcome along to Shakedown. This is episode 34 and today we're going to be talking about racism in football. Now, it's been going on for a long time now, and I thought I actually talk about the recent events that's been going down in the last few weeks or so. So, I'm a football fan, as you all know. I'm an Arsenal fan, but one thing that actually kind of riled me up in the last couple of weeks or so was the incident in which Raheem Sterling was subjected to racism from the Chelsea fans. And I saw the tape and I saw what happened, and I thought, he's got no right in saying that. None. Now, I know Raheem Sterling was trying to get on with the game. He's more focused on the game rather than what's been said in the stands. But when that happened, you know, it just kind of went viral. And this is the point where I just kind of got riled up because, you know, it's been said, and anybody who can lip read can actually say what he said. I'm not even going to repeat it. But he said what he said, and you know, he actually thought that it was okay to send, you know. So subsequently he got sacked from his job, and they've banned him. But obviously the issue has even grown exponentially because Raheem Sterling came out with this statement, which I'm going to read for you now. So he said, "Good morning. I just want to say I am not normally the person to talk a lot, but when I think my point needs to be heard, I will speak up. Regarding what was said at the Chelsea game, as you can see by my reaction, I just had to laugh because I don't expect no better. For example, you have two young players starting out their careers by both playing for the same team. Both have done the right thing, which is buy a new house for their mothers who have put a lot of time and love into helping them to get to where they are. But look how the newspapers get their messages across for the young black player and then for the young white player. I think this is unacceptable. Both innocent have not done a thing, but just the way it has been worded, this young black kid looks it at in a bad light, which helps fuel racism and aggressive behavior. So for all the newspapers that don't understand why people are racist in this day and age, all I have to say is that have a second thought about fair publicity and give all players an equal chance." Raheem Sterling had to think long and hard about posting that Instagram message, and it's kind of got everybody talking. You got Piers Morgan who's very opinionated. He interviewed several people and debated several people about all this stuff, and he spoke about Wayne Rooney, and I sat there thinking to myself, why would you want to compare Wayne Rooney's situation to Raheem Sterling's situation? Raheem is just a young man doing what he has to do. Yes, he's made mistakes along the way, but even he gets ridiculed from this, and it's just not right. Why was he targeted like this? You know, he's got a gun tattooed on his leg. That signifies that his dad was killed at an early age. And he doesn't really want to talk about it too tough. Why would he want to? At the end of the day, we can't keep having to look at football players. Yes, we can look at them as role models, but they're still human. They're allowed to go out and have fun. They're allowed to go out and do what they need to do. They're allowed to even go to a flipping supermarket, even though that they don't need to go into a supermarket. You know, buying a few things from there. It's called being a human. It's something that I would have been doing if I was in his shoes. I would go to Lidl. I would go to Tesco. I would eat at Nando's, even if I was famous. You know, why are we having to treat people like they can't do something that's different from a normal person? But I just don't understand why is Raheem Sterling being targeted in this way, and it just needs to stop. You know, Danny Welbeck, Marcus Rashford, you know, Ashley Young. Black players that I can actually think of on the top of my head, you know, why aren't they been targeted? That's what I can't understand. Why aren't we speaking about them? Why does Raheem Sterling have to be in the papers about this? The media kind of make a big issue about this when it doesn't need to be. You know, it shouldn't have the power to actually stir things up to fuel racism. In the words of Raheem Sterling, it shouldn't fuel racism like this. You know, we should be doing more to, you know, end this issue. But this ain't it with what's going on here. So Nike have released this advert, and it says, "Speaking up doesn't make life easier, but easy never changed anything." And it depicts Raheem Sterling looking at the camera there, and it's pretty much the same as Colin Kaepernick. Remember the football star who took a kneel during the national anthem. So yes, I commend on what Nike has done, supporting Raheem Sterling like this, but it does speak about this bigger issue. It's a marketing tool, yes, but at the same time, you got to look at it, and you have to look at a company like Nike. Stands for sports, stands for seeing greatness in people. It doesn't matter what color their skin they have, you know. And I support them. Well, I've always have done anyway, because I wear their stuff anyway, as many people would know me. But I commend them for doing what they needed to do. But I want to speak to the FA. The FA, FIFA, UEFA, they need to do so much more than this. But because it can't go on. There's too many players, too many black players that have gone through all this in their time when they played the game, and they suffered, and they had to keep playing because they loved the game. They wanted to reach out to people, you know. They'd rather do their talking on the pitch. It's just not good. Let's end this. Let's end this before it gets even more worse. The media, yes, they got themselves into blame for this as well, because they don't need to, you know, make a big issue like this. You know, I've heard everything that needs to be heard, and this is me speaking on this issue, and I'm just completely saddened by it, but I'm completely angered by it, because we thought that this would come a long way. We thought that this would start to, you know, get people to start to accepting certain things, but no, we've gone backwards in this. So I urge the FA, FIFA, UEFA, let's do a points reduction system so it hurts the clubs. Let's do rather than do fines, expulsions from competitions. Let's do something a bit more radical so it hurts the football clubs, so it gets them to not to, you know, not just kick the racism out somehow, you know, by, you know, removing people from the stadiums. Let's do more than that. Let's try and kind of understand that this is just unacceptable, and it needs to be eradicated, and soon. Otherwise, you know, if it's not Raheem Sterling, it's somebody else that's going to actually get this sort of attention. So let's do the right thing. Let's talk about it. Let's try and find ways of making this game, you know, as adorable as, you know, we all know it to be. Let's end racism. The fact that this has put a stain on the love of the game. Let's remove that stain. So with that, I end this episode. I hope you enjoy it. Now, I hope that you'll follow us on social media. We got Instagram Shakedown _18, Facebook Shakedown 2018. Follow us on those. You keep right up to date on the latest goings on pertaining to Shakedown, and yeah, follow us on those, and subscribe right here on the YouTube channel as well. And I will be back next week with another topic. Well, the topic is looking back on 2018, and then the first video of 2019 is what we're looking forward to come 2019. So I hope you'll join us for that. In the meantime, have a great Christmas, and I will see you guys next week.